Video 88, answering questions about Jessie Ventura, asked by Back to Constitution in a phone call with Groovy, where once again the ancient spirit tralaka came forth to answer their questions. Now, Back to Constitution desired to know, what about people like Jessie Ventura? What about the inner spirit past lives for people like him? Now, Jessie Ventura's far past lives is that of draconian blood. The last 6 lives of Jessie was that very close to looking like a full earth humanoid, even though he had 2/3 draconian blood. I have explained in videos about the draconians, about how they're, in the living universe, there is so many hundreds of variations of species, and a lot of them have a base humanoid form, even though like the arms and the legs and like the ears and the eyes will be different. The humanoid form is very widely used. Well, now getting back, now Jessie Ventura, while living in those 6 lives in some of those of the many planetary systems of the Draco constellation, in those lives his average height was 6'9". He had very large calf muscles, with his powerful legs and large forearm muscles. This was from the draconian side of the family. His eyes were black as night, yet shone like the stars in his occupations. His eyes had much strength when you looked at them. 3 of those occupations were of military investigations. These investigation teams usually were of 16 beings assigned to it. He has also had occupations in much earlier draconian lives as a pilot. He was very well known for his skills and instincts for being able to fly through the really badlands of areas of space, and normally coming back with not so much as a scratch on his ship that not many other pilots could ever claim. The speed, he could reason with his mind. Once again, because that 2/3 draconian blood in him gave him the edge in a lot of these fields, which left many other pilots and beings angry and sour, because when they would come back with nurse ships and their other occupations, they were held together with baling wire. So he loved vacations in his past lives. He really loved where he could steal away with his family to a more quiet planet and enjoy fishing with his family and or friends. Though here I am talking about fish that could fix the hunger for beings as large as Jessie and much bigger quite easily. For he knew of planets that of fish on the average of 6 foot in length for the small fish, the adult fish usually reaching lengths of 20 to 63.1 feet. The perfect challenge for larger beings of area planetary systems that enjoyed the challenge in a vacation. His home star system is within the Draco system, a small system that has 6 planets and 23 moons. This is a very young planetary system compared to many others around it, going by the name of Drainacia, which meant beast feeding in that local area, translated Draconia species language. Because of that planetary system of planets had 2 small planets that were nearly all water, with just a few scattered little islands around on it, the planets shone green in color. Both they were. The vast waters had endless forms of fish for the right price to fish on, for the right price tag, which was very high for anyone not of that planetary system of planets. Though understand here that there is hundreds of different variations of the species of the dragon. Many of them look very close to an Earth human in body, except for some dragon features on the head, and at times it's dragon eyes that pierce the air itself, looking for answers to a situation at the time, which weaker species on some known planets have been known to be deeply frightened of them. It is said on some of those worlds that the weaker beings they talk to each other, and they spread rumors that the dragon species can look inside you to find your weakness. To stare down that of a draconian varied species was death in the making. These were many rumors that were passed around in the weaker species. Were they true? Well, that's another story. Though it needs to be understood that there is draconian variations of beings who are very peaceful and work very hard to always be peaceful, and yet deeply knowledged. Many look mostly like Earth humans, which Tralaka talks about in great detail in his videos. Some have wings, but it is not normal anymore. It is in fact very rare in many parts of the living universe for most of the different variations of draconians to even breathe fire. Many times, because it's not trained anymore to the young draconians that are actually dragon, because of the presence of technology. So many feel, why go to the hassle of the long learning to breathe fire when you can use your developed draconian mind and use the technology and push a button? The inner spirit of Jessie Ventura in his last life in the Draco system was asked by a high council member to go to Earth. This high council member approached Jessie and he asked him, would you go to Earth? Because of your known reputation, lifetimes in the making, of getting the jobs done in near impossible situations. That spirit being that is Jessie nearly did not take this opportunity in this life to live a life on Earth. For in his understanding that Earth was far too remote, far too many limitations, the spirit being for Jessie's liking. Yet Earth did not seem a challenge in his flavors. He was enjoyed of the challengers he has had in earlier lives that were much more tough. Why go to a little planet in the middle of nowhere until Jessie learned about the details of the planet Earth, the large water and huge forests and incredible temperature ranges. This, he says, this I am able to do. As the council member turned back to talk to him, and the council member replies, remember, break much less than you aid to fix, okay? Earth is a delicate planet with a greatly confused species, very far behind in education, in technology, and the arts. So, as always, my friends, journey to visit many places, my friends. Grow to understand the bigger pictures of possibilities for the Earth species and about the living universe. The many different variables of species that are populating the living multi-dimensional multi-universe. This here is the ancient spirit Tralaka. Good night.